Equally as important, the lack of preparation put the very citizens that we are sworn to protect in harm's way as well. The majority of the officers with whom we spoke felt the Baltimore Police Department did not give the necessary support to do their jobs effectively.
That was Lieutenant Gene Ryan, president of the Fraternal Order of Police, in the last half hour, presenting an after-action report, some 32 pages. We're going to post this on the C4 page at WBAL.com so you can read it for yourself. And they put some work into this thing. They interviewed many officers. They said lieutenants, sergeants, officers on the ground, in order to present as clear as I guess as they could, a picture of what occurred before the riots of April 25th and April 27th and afterwards. And so this after-action report is going to get a lot of attention moving forward. We're going to hear from a few folks. We got a call, and we're hoping to be joined very shortly by Baltimore City Councilman Carl Stokes. Councilman Brandon Scott will join us after 11:30 news. But I want to read to you one line from this report, and I want your calls too. You heard the Lieutenant, Gene Ryan, his take on this. Should he have called for the resignation of Commissioner Anthony Batts? I said going into the news that I think the reason that he didn't, and maybe I'm giving him too much credit. If I am, you tell me. I think that they wanted people to digest this 32-page report. And had there been a call for the resignation of Commissioner Anthony Batts, that would have been what people took away from the press conference. It wouldn't have been the facts of the report. But I want to read to you a line from the report that I think is instructive. Starting on Thursday, April the 23rd, 2015, and continuing through Sunday morning, April 26, 2015, Baltimore City FOP Lodge No. 3 President Gene Ryan received multiple calls from officers and frontline supervisors who reported that they were restricted in their response to the rioting. And as a result, the situation was spiraling out of control. Additionally, officers reported that they had suffered injuries from the lack of protective riot equipment and the constraints placed on them by commanding officers. That's just one line from page number 6 of the report. Joining us right now, because he's been keeping up on all of this, and we've seen him weighing in on just so many issues in Baltimore City, is Baltimore City Councilman Carl Stokes. Councilman, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I don't know. You know, when I hear this report following, Councilman, I've been talking about it even before this report, a night where we see 4 more homicides in Baltimore City, more shootings that occur. We're sitting here, Councilman, in July the 8th, 10 homicides so far this month. All this together is very depressing, Councilman.
Listen, first of all, let's state the obvious, and I may be the last person to state it, but everybody knows it, including yourself, obviously, and that is that this particular police commissioner is way underwater in this particular job, in this particular city. He may have been wonderful and out on the West Coast, but I don't know, but he is horrible in Baltimore City. He is so far underwater, and all he's doing is trying to grab onto something to save him, and he's taking the rest of the police department down with him. It's amazing how unskilled he is, given his education, given his experience and background, how awful a job he's doing in Baltimore City. He's completely lost the confidence of all the men and women on the force, hundreds of good men and women, and he's lost the confidence of the people on the street. This has been stated before. I don't know why he's holding on. I don't know what pride or what ego or if he's negotiating his contract. I don't know what he's doing. But this is so unprofessional to be this bad in your job and to not walk away, to not say, you know what, I'm not the right guy for this. I got to go.
We're speaking with Baltimore City Councilman Carl Stokes. As you can hear, he is holding nothing back in reaction to not just to the FOP pronouncement, but a lot of things going on in Councilman. I don't know if you've heard, I've been talking about it. The BUILD organization has released a statement. They are having a press conference tomorrow where they have called for the resignation of Commissioner Anthony Batts. Were you aware of that?
I got that earlier today. I didn't read their press
It's
statement.
very much along the lines of what you have been saying. It's very condemning. And at the same time, while they respect, Commissioner Batts as an individual, they talk about his basic lack of a plan.
Right. He doesn't have a plan. This is strange. I said this to Batts a couple of years ago. My mom, in her mid-80s, God bless her, said to me, she said, son, I don't understand. You're paying this police commissioner a lot of money, and the first thing he's doing is paying $250,000 to have someone write him a plan on how to police, on how to run the department. And I said to Batch, my mom wants to know why we're paying you a salary, a very nice salary, and why you're paying someone to come in and write a plan for how to run your department. I thought we hired you. I thought your resume said you knew how to run the department. He said to me, look, I got to do the day-to-day stuff. I do need a plan for the department. And I said, okay. I give him the benefit of whatever to do that. He came highly recommended by some. Actually, he was, booed by a lot of other folks.
Well, there's a lot of information, Councilman, from Oakland that a lot of us looked at that wasn't as great as what a lot of folks looking at in the city. But let me ask you this, only because of time, and that is the fact that, can we get that money back? Because obviously that $250,000 didn't help much.
I shouldn't laugh. Obviously, we can't get it back. And, the people who are coming in to review, not the DOJ, not the Department of Justice, but the other people who are coming in to review, they're his friends. They're a part of the same group of Bratton and the other guys who consult with each other. He goes away and he gets a big a consulting fee. He brings in his buddies. They get a big consulting fee. And you know what they do? They dust off the same report. They stick in Baltimore, stick in Kansas City, stick in St. Louis. Whatever city they're in, they stick that city's name into the same words that they use in every town they go to and collect a big fat check.
Councilman, while this report is going to catch a lot of attention and we're going to have the FOP and Vanguard on to talk about it, I'm more concerned as a taxpayer and a father of 3 that lives in this city about the day-to-day violence. Councilman, what can we do? It's not going away, and it's increasing in some instances.
It is increasing, and it's time, again, for the commissioner to just, respectfully just say, look, I can't do this job. I'm going to walk away. It's time for our mayor to cut ties. Frankly, if the mayor won't do it, then the council should intervene. And technically, the police department is a state agency, and I guess it would take the governor and our state officials to make the final ultimate decision here and just release him. It's so unfortunate. Not for him. He's fine. He'll get his.
He's got 5 years. He just started a 5-year renewal, right?
Right, 6-year renewal.
I'm sorry.
And so he's flush. He's flush, and he'll negotiate it out. He'll take all his money, his pension, whatever, through this contract. Meantime, the citizens of the city, not most, but many of our citizens are living in fear every night, not because of anything they're doing wrong or anything their children are doing wrong, but you got these hoodlums in town who are taking advantage of the fact that policing has broken down. We have a broken police department right now, and so folk are out taking advantage of this, and it's just unbelievably, we're still the most violent city in America, second maybe only to Chicago, but we're a close second if we are second.
Councilman Carl Stokes, I can hear the passion in your voice. I'm upset as a Baltimore long-time resident and father of 3. I thank you so much for calling in. I'm not letting this go. I know you're not.
Don't let it go. Please don't let it go. Thank you, C4.
Baltimore City Councilman Carl Stokes, your reaction. The councilman is not holding anything back.